Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark for the 18th of January 2021. My God, what a day. Mortal Kombat plot synopsis. Ben Affleck, Anna de Armas, banana split, talking to town in Hollywood. And of course, what the fuck is going on with the Snyder Cut now? Is it a movie? Is it 4 parts? I'm confused and I want to talk about it right now. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Happy Monday. It is Monday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Like, quarantine has taken that away from me. Well, that and actually having 2 kids, that takes it away, to be honest with you. Having children takes it all away, to be fair. I love my kids, but I have a 3-year-old and I have a 1-year-old, and we're moving the 3-year-old from the crib to her bed, and she doesn't like it. And so more or less yesterday and today, my child has gone feral. It's tragic. I love my daughter, but my God, she is probably going to kill me. That or diabetes. I'm not too sure yet. But either or, welcome to the show tonight, guys. We had a lot to talk about. It's been kind of a fun weekend. You know, there's been a lot going on, especially in regards to the Snyder Cut. I'm a little bit. I'm not the happiest in the world as a result of the conversations that have been coming out of that this week. Mostly because I don't think things are going well over at Warner Media, and I think that Warner Brothers is actually winning out on this fight. Chubby Teddy here says, "Whoa, Jarbo! Max had a crazy live stream. I know. I tried getting back into it, but Max would not bring me back on, especially not to defend myself, accusations that were made by a panelist, and to provide evidence of my accusations about threats of extortion. But of course, that's what you expect. That's what you expect. So I'm none too pleased about that, but okay. Let's take a quick look here at the chat. Just want to give a quick shout out to everybody. We've got Andrew, Kira, we got my man Jay, we got Batman, Superman, Garrick, we got Hermit of the Woods, who is a new account. A lot of people here I see before, but Hermit looks pretty new. I appreciate being here, buddy. I've seen, all right, McLovin is here. He's a good dude. Geek Studios, great guy. I think I saw Resonant Justice is here as well. Thank you very much. Chubby Teddy, as I already mentioned. Underhaven says here, things are never going right at Warner's. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Fourth odd question. Man, how is Tori Black still hot? Just got finished with a session. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Tori Black in a long time. Let me take a look here. Tori Black. What is she looking like these days? Still looking good. It's been a while since I've seen her. I'm not going to go into full depth of my knowledge about the carnal arts of a certain hub website. However, if you ever want to... This is an after dark show. It's not for kids. It's after 9 p.m. Time to put away the fucking puppets. 100%. But if you ever want to see something really funny, look up, I believe it's like pornmd.com, and you can actually find a scrolling list of what people are searching for right now on Pornhub. I am not making that up. I would show it to you, but this video would get instantaneously demonetized. And speaking of demonetization on YouTube, because it's so rampant these days, I want to give a quick channel member shout out to my awesome peeps here who have helped support the channel that way. I really appreciate it. Those guys are great. They support me even when YouTube says, "Hey Matt, you suck." Also, to be fair, a lot of people say, "Hey Matt, you suck." So let's Tori Black is in her early 30s now. Dude. You know, okay, like I don't want to go off on like an insane tangent about like porn stars, but there is like this weird like area where it's like a light switch flips, you know, and so it's just like one moment they're barely legal, the next minute, literally the next minute, they're considered like MILF. And when you go to certain websites right now, that seems to be all the rage. It really, really, really does seem like it's all the rage when you go to some of these websites and you see things and you're like, wait a minute, why exactly is this, you know, like, are you guys into this kind of weird, crazy stuff, right? Like yesterday, for example, I'll bring this up here on Twitter. I happened to come across this article on Google News of all people, and I saw this floating around. This one is, you know, the 35-year-old Russian influencer gives birth to her 21-year-old stepson's baby, and my caption there simply just says, "I'm pretty sure I saw the origins of this story on Pornhub," because that is at this point all there is on like the front page of most of these adult websites. What is the fascination with the tabooness of incest? I don't get it. Maybe this is not maybe the right platform for it. This is a movie podcast, but all things considered, these are filmed audio-visual productions where multiple cameras and talent and microphones and audio and gaffer and lights and special effects and visual effects and people that are in their peak physical form, and they are acting very physically, a lot of vigorous activity. I mean, one could argue that these are, in some aspects, modern art, and we should appreciate them in that form. But still, I don't know. I'm getting kind of, it's just a weird thing to me. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's kind of a weird thing on that front. But anyway, I just gotta say there. All right, we got Rel, new member. Thank you so much, Rel. Really appreciate it. That's pretty badass. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Anthony asks, how much is membership? I think it's like $2 a month is the lowest one. You can go up to 10, I think. I don't know. I need to think of like perks and shit. That's where I'm at. Jay here says, yeah, they get old real quick. Well, I mean, some of them keep going. Some of them keep going. Again, have more things to discuss. Might have to do a Hollywood After Dark show to go into the finer points of the pornographic industry. Pornography industry. But anyway, there's that one. Okay. Alfie Green just says step bro. Yep. Step bro. There we go. All right. Simon Section, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, man. Speaking of Tori Black, when are we going to see the gratifying ending to Ray Donovan? The season finale Blue. I don't know, man. I actually haven't seen Ray Donovan at all. I hear it's really good. I hear Liev Schreiber's great. I hear John Voight's great. I hear it's a good show. It's a Showtime show, and I like that kind of stuff. So I don't know right off the bat. I need to watch it. So there's that. Okay, we're going to talk about Christopher Davis. Please talk about Mortal Kombat. He's like, no pornography. Don't talk about it on an After Dark show. No, it's all good, dude. Okay, we'll talk about this one real quick. We'll get let's see. So when is JarboCon? We're not going to do JarboCon, man. Anyway, what would that even be like? I'm not that much of a narcissist. I'm a narcissist. I'm not that much of a narcissist, so I don't quite know what we would do on that one. Okay. Did Showtime cancel Ray Donovan? Let me take a look here. Ray Donovan canceled. Let me see. Let's see. Showtime has canceled the drama series Ray Donovan after 7 seasons. Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess the season 7 finale is the end of the show. So there we go. All right. Christoph Davis here. Good super chat. Thank you very much, man. We'll jump right into the Mortal Kombat thing 100%. And he asks, thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2021 being the director's first feature? That is very much an interesting topic because first time... hold on. There we go. I hate autoplay for audio. You guys couldn't hear that, but it's like comicbook.com's like, we're just going to automatically run this ad. Okay. So... like when you talk about first time directors handling these kind of properties, it ends up being a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Sometimes you get something good out of it. Okay. Like handling, a first time director. I don't know if a first time director has ever really been able to nail a film so much like this. I mean, Paul W.S. Anderson, who did do the first Mortal Kombat, I don't know if he did another movie before then. I know he's done a bunch of video game movies since then. But let's see here. I'll look that up real quick because I don't quite know. The first time director is the only one I can really think of that's regards to like a massive negative. Let's see. He just directed. Okay, hold on. So his first movie, was a movie called Shopping, which is, Jude Law and Sadie Frost from back in the day. So it wasn't his first movie was not Mortal Kombat, but his second movie was. Now, there's the movie Aragon about the dragon, right? And that was something that Fox had bought the rights to. They did the whole trilogy, and they wanted to go make the first movie, and they brought in a visual effects director. It was his very first time directing. and they brought him in to direct. I don't know why. I don't know why they would take a popular, beloved book franchise and they would put a first-time director on it. Maybe the studio wanted more control. Maybe they were trying to lower their budget. I'm not too sure. But what we have come to kind of see here is that really, a lot of times these first directors, they don't really, I don't know. I think a lot of them, maybe we're in a different place now. They can handle a lot of stuff. Okay, let me just take a look here. Okay, hold on. Mortal Kombat. Wow. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, so who's directing this Mortal Kombat? This is by Simon McQuoid. What else has he done? Okay, see, according to his IMDb, 7 years ago, he did a short film called Nighttime Economy. Who in the hell is this guy? I mean, okay, so look, here's the thing. James Wan is producing this film. So that means that James Wan is the one who's picking him, right? He's the one who picked him. So Wan at this point has kind of done a fair amount, right? So, okay. Oh, all right. So, okay, here's what we're going to look at here. So this might be why. All right. This might be why, they picked him. So let's bring this up. So according to, let's see here, Simon. Okay. I see your super chat. I'm going to get to it here in a second. Thank you very much. Anyway. Okay. So, oh God damn it. All right. There we go. All right. So this is his website. This is simonmcquaid.com. And simonmcquaid.com shows a bunch of what appears to be Call of Duty ads. We've got Call of Duty, H&R Block. He did one for the PlayStation with this. I mean, okay. So we're seeing he's done a bunch of short commercials. He did Halo. He did Samsung. He did Netflix. Logitech, Smithwick's, HP. There's Dre, right? You gotta love that. And so, okay, you know what? I don't think I have audio turned on for this. Let me just quickly back out and then I will I'll go back in for this one. Okay. So I just want to see this here. Let's take a look here at the Halo short. Cause, this will give us an idea. Just keep in mind, Neil Blomkamp had only done short films before he was picked to do Halo. That was going to be his first feature film. And when that fell through, we got District 9, which is one of my personal all-time favorites. So really, who knows? Let's take a look.
I was a sniper, used a standard high-powered sniper rifle. At 600 yards, it would go through about 13 feet of flesh and bone.
What about you?
Well, I used a shotgun.
Could you tell us a bit about that one?
This one, sure. This is an old Covenant weapon. It's a spike rifle. We call it the Spiker.
And who used it?
Well, the brutes mostly.
Can you show us how it works?
Sure. They used it as a handgun. That's heavy.
All right. I dig it.
Holding an enemy weapon like this feels... I don't like it. If you'd have told me a few years ago we would be here in this place talking about this, I would have said, no way, it's not going to happen. If there's one reason why we're here, I would say it's because of the chief.
Okay. Is this Halo Infinite or is this
From a chair.
Oh, this is an old one. That's wow. A Halo. Wow. Okay, cool, man. A Halo 3 ad. That was pretty dope. All right. So that was pretty good, actually. That was actually pretty decent. I really liked that. It was atmospheric, so he's done a bunch of commercials. He's done some video game stuff. He's worked in that space. Very similar, I think, to Neil Blomkamp in regards to that. And so that ain't bad. That ain't bad. I mean, look, it's just a taste. You know what I mean? It's literally just a taste. But let's take a look here at the Mortal Kombat images that were kind of floating around. Let me see if anyone's got them on Twitter, because maybe they got them here on IMDb. Yes, they do. Okay, so let me just bring that up. And we'll take a look here at some of the images. Because, I am excited for Mortal Kombat. I am. I know a lot of people out there probably aren't going to be that excited for it. I'm pretty excited for it. I love Mortal Kombat. Let's bring up some of the images here. All right, so we've got McCad Brooks as Jax. This is Jimmy fucking Olsen from Supergirl. Is playing Jax. All right, I think this is Jimmy Olsen, right? I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy Olsen. Anyway, you've got this looks like Kano without the metal piece. All right, that looks pretty cool. We have Louis Tan. I don't know if he's the main character or who he's playing. There's clearly Sonya versus Kano. All right, cool beans. So who's playing Sonya? Jessica McNamee. I'm not too sure who she is. Okay, here's Liu Kang. And oh my God, it's been so long. I know the name. Someone's gonna tell me in the chat, but I forgot. Kung. I forget, man. And then of course here we have Sub-Zero, which is this looks pretty cool too. I'm excited to see what they do. And then I don't know. Maybe Shang Tsung, one of the guys. I'm not too sure. And then all right. It looks, it looks kind of. These are just stills. These are just stills that are in the movie, so we don't quite know yet what everything's going to be. We don't know what they're going to be doing with it as all. Okay, so yeah, Kung Lao. That's who it is, Kung Lao. All right, my bad. I should know that as an old school Mortal Kombat fan. I should know that, but there we go. So those are some of the photos that are on there. All right, so let's see here. Ryan here says, was the MK movie accurate to the source material? The first one, relatively for the time. The source material back in 1995 was I think Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. So it's really just like whatever the game had, but they crafted it into a good enough story for the first movie. The second movie I saw, while high on chronic that was laced with like LSD. So I enjoyed it the first time I saw it. I was 15 and I'd smoked some weed before going to see the movie. It was my second time ever smoking pot and it was laced. So the movie was very interesting. Anyway. All right. Let me just kind of jump back through a couple things here. Okay. Hondo, $2. Audio's wonky. I got you, sir. $2 more. Audio is wonky. Read the chat, you bastard. I know. I appreciate you, Hondo. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, guys. How am I going to watch 7 seasons of Dexter? Not care to see how it ends. I don't know, man. It just lost me. Like after season 4, all right, with John Lithgow, that was the pinnacle of the show. And I enjoyed what they did with seasons 5 and 6 for the most part, but season 7 just started to kind of like lose me and shit. All right, let's see here. I'll never forgive Scott Buck for Iron Fist or Inhumans. Yeah, Iron Fist season 2, way better. Still got canceled because Netflix sucks. I did say LSD. Yeah, or PC. It was something. It was laced with some kind of hallucinogen. Like I said, I was 15 and the movie was wild. Akansha, love from India. Allah bless your family. Always support your channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just know that it ends Game of Thrones bad. I didn't think Game of Thrones ended that bad. I like the ending of Game of Thrones. I'm one of the first few people that are. All right, let's see. Resident Justice says Dave Callahan, writer of Wonder Woman 84 and Mortal Kombat, is also writing Spider-Verse 2 and Shang-Chi. Okay. So I don't think that the problem with WW84 was it him. Remember that Johns and Patty had writing credits too. Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true. They did. They had a writing credit on that one, and it was their story. So I think he tried to polish a turd. That could have been the problem there. Okay. Let's see here. Iron Fist season 1 had mediocre fight scenes, which made no sense to me considering how great Daredevil's fight scenes were. Well, look, in the show's defense, and that's a hard thing to defend, by the way, but in the show's defense, they did talk a lot about like they rushed into production. Like Finn Jones didn't even get time to properly train. He didn't get time to properly do it all. And the same thing is with the rest of the cast. So they worked the best with what they've got. I think his character, Danny Rand's character, got better in Defenders and Iron Fist season 2. I loved Luke Cage season 2. I thought Luke Cage, the last half of season 1 was terrible, but season 2 all the way through was fantastic. I loved Bushmaster as the villain. He was great. better than fucking Diamondback. Jesus, that was a bad. How do you go from Cottonmouth, played amazingly by Mahershala Ali, just like amazingly by him, to fucking Diamondback, complete with a by Felicia and like the worst way possible. I really did not like the last bit of Luke Cage. That being said, when they brought up Method Man and he did that freestyle rap, that was fucking sick. I love that shit. Anyway, let's see. Do I think Scorpion King, Revenge would be on HBO Max? Is that the new one, or is that like number 3 or something? I forget. Let's see here. All right. Fourth here, ask the questions. Am I crazy, or is Better Call Saul better than Breaking Bad? I need to get into Better Call Saul. I haven't. I've seen Breaking Bad. I love Breaking Bad. I think El Camino, like the epilogue movie, was brilliant, and I loved what they did with it. I need to watch the other. I just haven't done it yet. Let's see. Okay. Do I like the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies? I do actually. I really do. I think his casting was good. And I really enjoyed, the first one more so than the second. I know Doug Jones, who played the Silver Surfer in costume. So that was pretty cool. That's my connection to it. That's my name drop. And I liked it. Yeah, I think they're like, if they were to bring him back to do another Fantastic Four under Marvel, I think he'd be able to kind of nail it. But I want to see what the guy who did Spider-Man did. So there we go. Let's see here. All right. It's a new animated film. Oh, is it Scorpion King, or is it Scorpion's Revenge? That might have been what I think. It's Scorpion's Revenge is what you're talking about. If it's Scorpion King, that's a Universal property. Why would that be an HBO Max? Who's the hottest MCU girl so far, in my opinion? I don't like to objectify women, but it's Kat Dennings. Just don't get me wrong. I actually talked about this on Twitter the other day. Got me a little bit of shit. I'm really appreciative of how in WandaVision episode 2, when they had Elizabeth Olsen in the magician's assistant outfit, like it was curvy. It showed off her curves. It showed off her form, and she looked very good. But she wasn't a twig. She was. She's not a skinny girl. She's not big, but she's. I don't know what's the right word. I don't want to say normal, because what is normal in regards to that? But you guys know what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, cool. Like they're actually showcasing something that's other than the standard norm for what Hollywood is, which is a lot of what Hollywood is. Let's see here. Safety Zoom says WandaVision is unique. And I love it for it, by the way. Let's see. Have I watched Bulletproof Monk? Yeah, I did. I saw it back in 2003 when it came out. I always feel like Sean William Scott just kind of like almost hit the mark. He that one, and like The Rundown is amazing. And I think that should have been an entire franchise. So there's that one. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Garrick asks, X-Men Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix? The answer to that is Dark Phoenix. 100%. Brian, I actually did not upload a review of WandaVision. I need to. I think I didn't do it because I'm just kind of like, I might just do like live streams like for an hour talking about an episode or something. I don't know how I feel about reviews going into 2021. I'm not able to watch as much as I would like to. I'd like to watch a lot more, but I've realized that reviews don't really do much. I could do quick thoughts, like 3-4 minutes, but it's like, I don't know. I'd rather talk with you guys about it than like do this elaborate, like 20-minute review of something. What did I think of Adam Sandler's Bulletproof? Loved it, man. I loved it. I thought that was good. Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans, James Caan back in the 90s. I mean, this was like coming off of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. And I believe even after The Waterboy, and, where he played these PG-13 kind of comic characters. And here it's an R-rated movie with Damon Wayans. I was like, fuck yeah, man. I liked it quite a bit. Let's see here. Would I rather have Disney Plus upload all their episodes of their shows, or do I like the format so far? I like the week-to-week stuff, man. I do. I would have already gone through WandaVision in one go. 100%. I was laughing my ass off through the first 2 episodes. I really, really liked it. And I want to know what's going to happen, but I'm also cool with it taking it time to get there. Sometimes in life, it's got to slow down a little bit. You just got to have patience. You got to do it. It's all good. Let's see here. What do I think of Collider's Jeff Snyder? I don't know much about the guy, to be honest with you, so I don't really think much about him, to be fair. So there's that. Let's see here. Did I see the Wonder Woman or WandaVision featurette? They teased Wonder Man concept art. I did not, actually. I know the Legends is on there, and a lot of people have complained about Legends. They didn't like it. So that's kind of weird. Toronto Freddy asks, do I watch Shameless? No. I mean, I've seen clips of it. I've seen the good bits of it floating around Reddit and other parts of the internet. So I'm fully aware of who's in it and what you see, you know, like you do. But I haven't, I haven't sat down to watch it yet. All right. Let's see here. What do I think of the rumor that the Fox version of Quicksilver is going to be debuting on WandaVision? If it's not Aaron Taylor, then I don't care. Or Evan Peters. But I don't think it's going to be Evan Peters. I think it's like if they're going to bring him back, they got to bring him back. You know what I mean? Like, they got to bring him back. And I know, like, no one's ever really dead sort of thing, but screw it. I will say this, though. If you look at the end credit sequence of WandaVision and you look at the special thanks, you get an idea for what's coming down the pipeline. And I was sent this last night because one of the writers is this guy, Steven Englehart. And he's a comic book writer, and he's thanked in the end credits of the show. And he's thanked, you know, I mean, so was Joss Whedon. And that makes sense because Joss wrote Wanda and Vision for Age of Ultron. So those are technically his creations. So they're going to his creations in their current form, or his adaptations in their current form. And that's going to be what's being thanked and whatnot. But in this particular case, it's like, who did, this Steven Englehart guy wrote a Wanda, or the Vision in Wanda, or Wanda and the Vision, like their second series. And the villain of that series, from what I found out, was actually Mephisto. And so if Mephisto is going to be the big bad for this, that's going to be pretty interesting stuff here. All right, let's see here. Okay, Legends is a clip show recap for people who said, okay. All right, I guess they wanted more out of Legends. Thoughts on Wedding Crashers? Love Wedding Crashers. Love Wedding Crashers. Ela Fisher, man. Oof. Toronto Freddy says, great show. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Let's see here. Anthony says, I heard a rumor that Kingpin is coming back to the MCU. Listen, I don't know if that's true, but I want it to be. Vincent D'Onofrio from Daredevil did such a great job as Wilson Fisk. He was such a large part of that show and its success. If the rumor is true that Charlie Cox had filmed a cameo appearance in Spider-Man 3, and that's coming out the end of this year, I will come. I'm just going to say it. It's just going to be firing off shots like a fucking super soaker. It's right? Like, that's what I want. That's what I fucking want. Anyway, let's see here. Teen Wolf or Doc Hollywood? Teen Wolf, because if I want to watch Doc Hollywood, I have kids, and so I watch Cars. Do I think that Charlie Cox really filmed the scenes? I don't know, man. I hope. Brandon Davis is not someone whose credibility I would generally call into question. There are people out there that if they made those claims, I would call their credibility into question with good reason. However, Brandon Davis, he's a genuine dude. Brandon Davis is a genuine guy, and I like him quite a bit. So is that Hondo asks, what am I drinking? It's a Rockstar. I shouldn't drink it this late, but I am. It's been a long day, dude. I have kids. It's been a long day. Evan Peters is playing Mephisto. Oh, really? Oh, that's fascinating. Is that true? That's fascinating. He's a good actor. What the fuck did I click on to? You know what it is, Jack. You know what it is. This is Hollywood After Dark. It's after 9 o'clock. Time to put away the fucking puppets, which is a line I'm stealing from Kevin Smith, and I will gladly admit to that. Do I think Wesley Snipes will join the MCU somehow? Yes, I think he will be Whistler. If I'm being honest, I think they're going to offer him Whistler. I mean, Chris Christopherson is still alive, but there was that line the other day that said that he's still going to be Blade, that Wesley Snipes is still going to end up being Blade. So I don't quite know how that's going to play out, but there's that. Okay, let's see here. You guys are asking so many questions. Holy shit. All right. Resident Justice says, I believe Charles Murphy, he's putting his career on the line with his cock scoop. Yeah, but Charles Murphy likes to also push back on anyone who criticizes him. So I don't know. I follow him on Twitter. I read his reports. I look to see what he says. Okay. All right. Do I think that William Ather Walter Peck cameo in Ghostbusters Afterlife? I fucking hope so, dude. I hope so. I really do. Looking at how Ghostbusters Afterlife, just based upon what we've seen, ties into the originals, yes, I have a feeling that Walter Peck is gonna have a cameo. I really hope. I really, really, really hope. Wait, hold on here. Did I see ACS is in? I didn't. There's ACS. What's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Okay, let's take a quick look here at hold on. All right. Okay, hold on here. Let me just bring this up. All right, couple things worth quickly talking about. This is a big one today. I know a lot of you Snyder Cut fans are just like, Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas end relationship. It's a sad banana split. It's over. It's done. It was a nice year. It was a wholesome year watching these two walk their dogs, watching Ben outside smoking cigarettes, them going out. I mean, this is a nice photo. It's a very nice photo. I believe that's Joshua Tree or somewhere in California. But it's a very nice photo showing us that even the California desert can get slightly perky. Rip banana split. Anyway. Rip all that stuff, man. They were a good couple. No, I do feel that like Ben coming off of what he's been coming off of. I think Anna Anna was good for him. I don't know. I guess they're going in different directions. That happens with these actors, man. This is why celebrities hook up the way that they do, because they're in close proximity with each other for so long. Add on top of that a pandemic, and it's just going to go a particular way. So that should be pretty fascinating to see what comes out of that one. But man, you know what? I just want Ben to get a win. I know I want like an Academy Award winning actor and director and Batman to get a fucking win, right? That makes some sense, doesn't it? I'm out there like, yeah, man. Yeah, poor Ben Affleck. I just really wish society, like life would just stop dry fucking him. Can't that man get a win? As he breaks up from dating Ana de Armas, right? Like, motherfucker. Anyway, Bowfinger or I Spy? Dude, Bowfinger, man. I Spy was funny. It was funny. I liked I Spy quite a bit because I like Owen Wilson. But Bowfinger is Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy, man, in a Frank Oz movie. Fuck yeah. Let's see here. All right. Okay. What else did I have? I had some other stuff lined up. Yeah. There we go. Let me just get this particular tweet. Okay. So, one of the things I wanted to touch upon today, and this is, I think it's an interesting topic because when it comes to the Snyder Cut and everything else, I've been supportive and I'm still supportive. And I'm still going to watch it, and I'm going to ingest it as much as I possibly can. But today we're finding out that it's or this might have been from yesterday. It was from yesterday, but that according to Zach, that it's a one shot, so it's a one movie. He had originally pitched the concept as being like multi-episode, having your cliffhangers. Now it's entirely possible that he's going to formulate. He's going to edit this thing to be 4 different chapters in one long movie, giving you like a bathroom break sort of thing. And that to me probably feels like the most accurate way of getting it. But that being said, like he talked about it as being a series. It was originally, everyone was chit-chatting about it as being a series. So why exactly is it now being a one-shot? Well, I think this again, has a lot to do with Warner Brothers and how they've been kind of screwing the pooch on this whole thing. And I think Warner Brothers outright is just, I think they're just, they want it gone. And I think they're going to win, to be honest with you. I think they're going to win. Everything I've seen at this point has more or less been, it's just like, we're going to do this for the fans, but it's possible that it's not resulting in what they want. And this is always the problem that a lot of these people are going to have these companies are going to have when it comes to the concept of giving into the fan demands. Now, they did it And there's a lot of people out there that love Zack Snyder, and they love the idea of Justice League, and they want to see his cut, and they're happy to see it. And I've said, it doesn't make any sense to pump in $70 million into this thing and not want to continue it going forward. And then you get people out there that have the inside track that are saying like, Affleck is coming back. He's going to get his movie, or he's going to be a show, and there's going to be Justice League Part 2 or Part 3, or Zack's going to continue working on it, and all of these things that we're hearing about behind the scenes. But everything we see publicly and front facing has said it's all the opposite. With Hamada saying that it's a cul-de-sac of storytelling, with Warner Media appearing to constantly downplay the Snyder Cut, even though it's meant to be like their big original selling point, at least the last year. And the fact that Snyder himself is kind of in these interviews, which I'm very happy that he gives, he feels like he's just kind of backing away from, like he's happy that it's going to be finished. But I think he also kind of understands that to some people, it is so high on a pedestal that it's in no way going to be able to actually live up to the expectations. And I think Warner Media, looking at Wonder Woman 84 and whether or not that was as big of a success as they wanted it to be, and looking at the numbers, just the numbers that we know about, it is not as big of a success as they wanted it to be at all. Not to say that it can't be down the road, but for right now, it was an experiment that kind of feels like it failed. And the way that Warner Brothers operates is that if a franchise is failing, they kind of cut it off at the knees, especially if it's DC related, and they want to start again. And I think that's a bad call. I think that's a bad play. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that what Ray has been up to is having an impact on this, because I don't think that it is. I could be wrong on that. But it could also be that Ray is at this point now, he knows that the cul-de-sac of storytelling is just going to end up being that. It's a dead end. It doesn't go anywhere. So he doesn't have anything else to lose, and therefore neither does Zack, because Zack has Army of the Dead's franchise over at Netflix. And so what's going to happen with that going forward? Like we as fans, we want to see this continue. We want to see the Snyderverse continue. We want to see the Ayer cut. We want to see the Schumacher cut. We want to continue raising money for suicide prevention, all of these things. But I'm just starting to look at this and go, I don't know if it's ever going to be enough. And I don't know if it's ever going to live up to the expectation, or if it's ever going to live up to the hype. I just don't know. And I'm starting to realize that a lot of people out there have this belief, and it's possible that they've been misled, not on purpose, and maybe in some cases on purpose, but they've been led to believe that everything is going to happen. And there are people out there that I know that if you question them, they get rather bullish about it, and they get rather confrontational about it. And some of those, I'm not going to say who it is because it's not really the point. The point is, we don't know what to believe anymore. And a lot of people are confused. And there's been a growing number of people talking about this. And I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, these online movements, it's kind of like you won the Snyder Cut. I'm very thankful for that. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know what's going to be able to be pulled off. And I quite frankly, neither does anybody else. So I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. What do I think about Zack wanting to direct a live action adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns? That'd be great. I'd be there 100%. IMAX, everything else. But again, it's like, but think about that. Let's just kind of think about that for a second, right? So Zack says, Snyder Cut, he's working on an IMAX version of it. Okay. So he's going back and he's working on BVS, restoring it 4:3 aspect ratio, IMAX version. He's talked about going back and working on Man of Steel. He's mentioned going back and working on Sucker Punch once the rights go back to him. I mean, these are all wishful thinking things. You know, these are all wishful thinking things, but it's been almost 4 years since Autumn passed. And in that time, he had to come to terms. He had to come to grips with reality. And he stepped back, unfortunately. And it wasn't really, I don't think it was his choice, but he stepped back. And then he's told, you know, that they're going a different direction and that they've done everything that they can to undercut us. And at the end, he still gets his win. But unless it's a massive blockbuster, like a massively huge blockbuster, and I don't know what numbers that it needs to be. I don't know what it's going to take to get those initial numbers big enough for Warner's to continue down that path. I just do not know. So we'll have to wait and see. But at this point, I am not happy about it being one movie because that's a one and done. It's a one and done. If it's 4 hours, it should be 4 parts, 1 per week. Let the fan base do what it does, which is dissect, discuss, distribute. This is what they do. They talk about it. They put it out there. They get the groundswell of support. When you do 1 4-hour movie, it's done after the weekend. It's done. Everyone's going to watch it. Everyone's going to dive in. Everyone's going to talk about it. And then come Monday morning, a couple people maybe. A week, no one. No one outside of the fandom. But that's not going to be reaching more people. So it's like everything they're doing that we know works. That we know works when it comes to public discourse and when it comes to the discussion and all of those things. What we know is being ignored. And that's kind of where we are. So I'm just like, I'm not necessarily happy with it because I feel that it is going backwards. I feel like if Zach is treating it like it's a run and he admitted that, I think he's been trying to let people down I think he's been trying to set people up for disappointment for a while. I think he hopes these things will happen. I think a lot of fans hope these things will happen. But my fear ultimately is that what's going to happen if it fails to live up to the hype? How many people are going to come out with blog posts, articles, videos, tweets, attack? They're just going to shred it to shit and not give it the chance to unfold in a way that has a payoff at the end that there's build up to. Garrick here says, Warner Brothers really does love to mishandle DC movies, don't they? They do. They do. They have, they just don't know. Resident Justice here says, the general public doesn't even really know what the Snyder Cut even is or what the deal is. A weekly release could have brought in a lot of eyes' attention to HBO Max. Yeah. That is what the fandom should be pushing for. That is what the fandom should be pushing for. Weekly release schedule. For the love of Christ, the weekly release schedule for The Mandalorian Season 2 ultimately put it above Netflix in watch numbers in the Nielsen ratings. Right? Why aren't the fandom coming out and going, this should be a week-to-week release? This should not be all at once. But I've seen so many people that are like applauding the one movie. Oh, I can't wait to watch it all in one go. Then wait 4 fucking weeks. But if you want to look at it from a marketing perspective, if you want to look at it from an actual perspective that's going to do well for your streaming service to stretch it out, why wouldn't you release it halfway through the month? So then by the time it's over, it goes into another billing cycle and you get an additional $15 off of those accounts. It is just, the release schedule for it is ridiculous. Moving up Godzilla versus Kong, which looks amazing, I think is going to take away from it. And I think that everyone's talking about this March release date for it. You know what? Until we have it confirmed by Warner Media, because we're 2 months away from March, by the way. We're 2 months away. So why don't we have a release date? If we're 2.5 months away from Godzilla v Kong, we have a release date for that. So where's the release date for the Snyder Cut? I have a feeling it's going to be pushed back to May. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway. Fourth here says, Snyder said by the time the movie is over, we'll know if it's over or continuing. Maybe they're just playing everybody, but they're doing it in a way that's not going to work out well. They're just doing it because when it becomes frustrating, when it moves beyond conversation, when it moves beyond speculation and anticipation, and it becomes frustration, you start to lose people. So there's that. Anyway, Geeks here says, I like the week to week. I hate binging shows. Dude, I like binging shows, but like, I love the week to week, especially if it's something that I want to, like enjoy. When I was younger, I used to like record a bunch of episodes of shows throughout the week and I'd rewatch them multiple times throughout the week. Now I don't go back and rewatch anything because I just binge it all and move on with my fucking day. I get the whole story, Resident here says, it's clear Warner Media never really wanted to do the Snyder Cut. They just did it for HBO Max Boost. But once pandemic happened, they realized they no longer needed it as much. Yeah, probably. And I'll tell you this, what I feel is that while the Snyder Cut has a large fan base, I think that it is not as big as some people out there believe that it is. And I've said that for a while. And I think now there's going to be a lot of infighting within the fandom. We were talking about this earlier on Max the Mandalorians or Movies, Madness Entertainment, whatever he's calling himself now. We were talking about that earlier about how there are gatekeepers in the Snyder Cut fandom. People that have found success that it's kind of gone to their head. As I mentioned earlier, there are people that are kind of bullies when questioned about certain things. Or what I can only argue as being when maybe their meal ticket is somewhat questioned. So it's one of those situations where I just feel everyone needs to rein it the fuck in. Assess where their expectations are and maybe, just maybe, modify the fuck out of it. And if you really want to push it, and I said, and I'm going to say it again, push for 4 individual episodes. Now that might be a union thing. I don't know. It could be a union thing. It could be the contract for distribution. At this point, I kind of feel if he went into it with a week to week cliffhanger ending, idea, which is what we learned about back in March or April or early May, I forget, when we learned about the specifics of this thing. I think it was May. So that was his original plan. So clearly it's like, is it just the legal issue here? And that shouldn't even be a problem if it's not going to go to theaters, but instead it's going to HBO. Now it's entirely possible that because they want to put it in IMAX, that could be what harms it. That could be the issue. I don't know. But there's a lot that people aren't fucking talking about, and they're not asking the right questions or pushing for the right things, in my personal opinion. So let's see here. Worth another $5. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, man. I feel Zack Snyder Justice League being released for HBO Max really Scope believes a negative mark on the movie. Postpone 100%. And maybe that's what they're doing. I was talking about it with Rasha Taylor. She's frequent in the community. She's a great person. And we're talking about it in DMs the other day. And she's like, well, how am I going to watch it? It's not available in New Zealand. And I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of like yo ho, a pirate's life for me. And she doesn't want to do that. She wants to pay the money to watch it, but she's not able to see it in her country. And that's a big factor too. So, and if they have a big marketing plan for this, if they have a big plan for this in some way, we don't know what it is yet. And quite frankly, it kind of needs to get talked about. But I agree with Fourth there. I think it should be postponed until a global worldwide release. I did say the same thing about The Mandalorian. As much as I love it, as it is my favorite show, there are people in the UK that didn't get to see it for like 4 months after it came out here in the States. How is that even? I mean, we're in the digital age. These kind of region-based lockdowns are fucking ridiculous. And they're antiquated and they're old school. But these companies, they hold on to them like for dear life. It's the stupidest shit. Let's see here. Who are these gatekeepers? People on Twitter and like YouTubers and shit. All right, let's see here. Resident Justice says, if the Snyder Cut fails to deliver on the hype and HBO Max boost, and Flashpoint fails, where the hell does DC and Warner Media go next? I don't know. back to Greg Berlanti, which I feel is a mistake. I don't know. I don't know. They got to get their shit together. They need, this is the thing. This is what happens when you build your house on quicksand and you don't have a strong foundation. Marvel has Kevin Feige. That's a strong foundation. That is a producer who knows exactly what he wants. That's a producer that puts the right people in the right roles to get what they want. This is not something DC has. This is something that is a constant criticism. And for some reason, their movies still fail to catch up to Marvel. With the exception of Aquaman, which, let's be fair, kind of shocked the hell out of everybody. And I love Aquaman. I just didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. It was great. But they need to also trust the creatives, but still have a plan. Let's see. Monday, I'm not even going to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry, I'd butcher it. He says, the only way I can watch Mandalorian is if I pirate it. Now, a lot of people are. Cosmic here says, you should not have called for an HBO Max boycott. For one, who the fuck listens to me? Two, well, there's like about close to 100 of you in here right now, which is awesome. Smash the like. But also, I didn't call for that. I was asking a moral quandary of a question, the hard question that nobody wanted to ask. I wasn't saying call for a boycott. I wasn't saying I was canceling my HBO Max subscription. I'm fucking not. Kidding me? Godzilla versus Kong comes out on my birthday. Fuck yeah. What I'm talking about here are the people in the fandom that are out there every day talking about equality or, accountability over entertainment. What Ray Fisher has to say. And I'm saying that if you truly believe that, then you have to cancel your HBO Max subscription now, because that is how you showcase that you mean that. That's all I'm saying. I put the question, the hard question on people, and I'm not judging them one way or the other. But when we talk about these issues, we talk about our principled approach to this sort of thing, then what are the consequences going to be for a company that fucks around? You vote with your wallet. Well, theaters are closed right now, so you can't spend your money there. So that's clearly not an option. So what's the option that you can send your message to the company? It's not that difficult of something to understand or comprehend where I'm coming from. Anyway, do I think it's a bad idea to run two different Batman franchises at the same time? Yep, I do. Let's see here. Geek Studio says, I can't cancel my HBO Max. I've got 5 people in my house watching it every day. And that's fine, dude. That's fine. But that's something that you have to just ask yourself. Let's see here. Resident Justice says, do you think if HBO Max continues to underwhelm compared to Disney Plus and Netflix, that AT&T could sell off Warner Media and its pieces? Imagine if DC got sold off to Universal. That'd be awesome. Kind of like how Star Wars is now having a Ubisoft game. The way I view it though is like this. Warner Media is invested in DC because look, AT&T bought Warner Brothers for like $108 billion. I think they bought that whole conglomerate for $108 billion. They bought Time Warner, and they want to compete with Netflix, and it takes time to compete with Netflix. But with the Warner Brothers library, with their library of content that they have, never mind what they've licensed for HBO Max right now, which is a great lineup. It's a good service. I'm not, at no point am I talking ill about the service. I think it's great. But what I mean by that is like, what are they doing to like reach out and build up that audience? I say the same thing about Netflix. Netflix is a different beast though. They've got 196 million homes that have Netflix in it. They've been at this since 2007. They're on their 14th year of having a live streaming service. They are the word of mouth. They are the standard. HBO Max isn't. There are 28.7 million eligible HBO accounts that could get HBO Max. Why the fuck aren't they? Why aren't they? That's a question too. No one ever brings that up. There's so many eligible accounts that are not taking part of this movie, of this thing. So there we go. All right. Speaking of Godzilla versus Kong, what did I think of Peter Jackson's King Kong? Oh, I loved it, dude. I loved it. Jack says, how am I enjoying my 4K TV? It's a lot better than my other 4K. I have a TCL that I bought because I like TCL and it's Roku, but my new one is a Samsung, and like it's just the image is so much better. Oh my god, I was watching Soul in 4K UHD on my new TV, and like I have to turn the UHD off on the TCL. It's a 4-year-old TV. I think it was maybe like 5-6 years old when I bought it, or I should say from when it was manufactured. But if I watch HDR content on there, the image looks terrible. I have to turn off HDR on my 4K. I have to turn off 4K on my 4K. So that pisses me off. But the new TV is fantastic. My God, it's so big. Like I splurged and got the 55-inch, and I'm just like, it's great. Anyway, okay, so we're about 1 hour in. I'd like to keep it about an hour, so just so we can have a chat and go from there. Let's see here. I'll answer one more. Tom Hanks Ballsack 69, which I just like the name. Says, do you think that movies will continue to be delayed into 2022? Yep. I mean, it all depends on the next 100 days. Okay. It all depends on the next 101 days, because when, the Biden administration takes over officially Wednesday, 12:01 PM Eastern Standard Time, he says in the first 100 days, he wants to put out 100 million vaccine doses. And I'm only talking about the United States because that's where I live, and that's where that's where I'm at. Okay. I don't know worldwide shit. So that's what I'm talking about. But that's where that's going to be ground zero. That's going to be where it's at. That's going to be the next part. And so what you have is, if he is successful, if we are able to get a mask mandate, which needs to be there. I'm sorry. Look, this is my mask, by the way. Isn't that fucking cool? Isn't that great? Look at that. Look at that. My stepmom made this for me, right? That's my mask. I've also got a Baby Yoda one around here somewhere too. So there's that. But we need the mask mandate. We need to get this shit reined in, and it's going to take it needs a strong leader who's not going to sit there and push fake news. I don't want to get too political on this thing. I have my opinions. You probably all know what they are politically, and that's great. But that's where we are. And if we can get that under control, then stuff will start to open the fuck back up. So if you want to see a movie, wear a mask. Tell people you know to wear a mask. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, I guess talking about this. So my stepmom got the fabric from a, what's it called? Fabric store, like a Joann's Fabric or something. So she just made me the mask, and that's this one is custom for me. This one's custom for me. So I wear it around, and people are like, oh, that's an awesome mask. And I'm all like, yeah, it's a fucking, my stepmom, she made it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ryan here says, not too much to ask. Just wear a mask. Anyway. Yvonne here says, don't know. I don't know. There's a trailer for Kong versus Godzilla, but comparing size, who's more bigger? There's not a there was a teaser this morning. And they're about the same size. My goodness. They're about the same size. It's good shit. All right. Oh, real quick. Xavier T, last one of the night, $5. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Says, I hope everyone can come together and enjoy the content we got, whether it's Zack Snyder's Justice League, DC, Marvel, etc. I hate the infighting. You're the man, Jarbo. Thank you so much, Xavier. Really appreciate that. The infighting sucks, and I'm not a big fan of it. I was in Gamergate, okay, a number of years ago, like coming up on like almost like 7 years ago. I was in Gamergate, and I was one of the people that, like, I guess, that's how I got my name out there, right? Like some shit happened to me, and it kind of blew me up. I didn't want to make waves back then. I didn't realize at the time that people were coming into grift. So when we talk about Gamergate being ethics in video games journalism, that is my approach to it. And I will defend that. Time and time again, I will defend that. But there were people out there who were opportunistic. They were carpetbaggers. Carpetbaggers are people who come into something and more or less just try to profit off of it. And so I didn't speak up back then. I didn't say anything back then because I didn't think that anyone would, I just didn't feel like anyone would care. And I was just too afraid to lose what I had. And at the time I was getting a lot of attention. I was making more money than ever before, that kind of stuff. Right now, given what's happened to me in the last couple of years and just being older and being an adult and like having kids and everything else, the way I look at it, it's like this. It is good to call out bad actors, and we need to do it more often. The infighting is going to happen. People are always going to have difference of opinions and petty squabbles. But I think most of the time you can probably argue it down. But there are the bad actors that go out there and they try to make it about them, and they try to put out false information and bad information and find ways to divide people simply for the sake of profitability. And that is something that does need to be called out. So yes, I don't like the infighting, and there's people out there that I fought with that I don't want to fight with. You know, I would love to find ways to come out. Like, I don't like Andy Signore for some of the shit that he's done, but like and I'm pissed at him for some of the things that he's done to me, you know, and I want him to have accountability for that, as I was trying to get to tonight on Max's stream. But I've frequently said he has my number. He can call me. He says he doesn't have it anymore, which is a load of shit, but he could still call me, or he could text me or something, and we could have it out, and that'd be fine. This is a way to kind of squash the beef and move on and shit. I'd be okay with that. He knows it. I've said this. So, you know, we just got to find a way to make it work. But anyway, let's see here. Resident Justice says people like Tim Pool, Geeks and Gamers, and the Quartering are the definition of grifters. Yep. And I have been in the same room with two of them. Well, and Geeks and Gamers was at Comic-Con, but he didn't say anything to me. But yeah, Tim Pool is a liar. Absolutely. And the Quartering's a liar who modeled a lot of it after Tim Pool, and Geeks and Gamers actually modeled a lot of it after, the Quartering. So it's, you know, it's all just a grift, all just a grift. Let's see here. All right. Kira says, I think you're genuine in mind, and that's all that matters. Thank you very much. I am a genuine person. People think I'm a disingenuous asshole. I'm an asshole. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments, but I when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm never disingenuous. Never. I don't fuck around when it comes to this. This is my jam. This is my world. You know what I mean? Like, movies are my shit. So I don't fuck around. All right. And fourth here says, if today's chat has taught me anything, it's that only Tori Black can get COVID in my eyes. I don't understand that. Is that like a cum joke or something? I don't know. All right. Xavier says, what's a grifter? A grifter is a person who comes into a situation and creates narratives, false narratives, whatever you want to call it. And from there goes out and like makes it about them and tries to find ways to just kind of weasel their way in order to lie to you and to make it about them and to make money in the process. So look at like, you know, the fandom menace and all the shit they talk about, you know, women in any kind of entertainment position or women in general. And that's a grift because they know that they're going to piss off some people out there, and those people are going to like give them money. And that's what it boils down to. What do I think of Nerdrotic and Doomcock? I try not to, because both of them are absolutely disgusting human beings. Absolutely. Doomcock, look up the comment on BitChute. He's a fucking Nazi. And Nerdrotic doesn't like the fact that I say that, because Nerdrotic is tied to him because they got those matching Prince Alberts and they're tied together through their penises. And he doesn't want to be associated with that because, you know, he doesn't want that bad light on him. But no, it's true. So fuck him. Dave Rubin is the OG internet grifter. He's not the OG internet grifter, but I have hung out with Dave Rubin as well. I made it some circles a couple years ago, guys. Anyway. All right. God damn it. Do I think that Godzilla versus Kong will be pure sex like King of the Monsters? I fucking hope so, man. I hope so. What do I think about Cosmic Wonder? I know who Cosmic Wonder is. I have nothing. I don't really watch them. I don't watch a lot of those like those theory videos anymore. I just don't. I after this last year where like everything was a scoop, I just stopped caring. I don't even watch Emergency Awesome anymore. None of it interests me. Not one bit of it interests me at this point. When do I think we'll finally get that Godzilla versus Kong trailer? Well, Jimmy, you saw the teaser today, right? So trailer's coming pretty soon. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up pretty soon. What about the cultured nerd? I like Taylor. I do. You know, I mean, it's like, I think he's a good guy. And you know, that's kind of where I'm just, I don't know how much stock I put into it. To be honest with you, it's not nothing against him. I'm just wary of a lot of people. I'm even friends with Mikey Sutton, and I don't always, you know, I don't bow down to what he says, even though we're friends. Like, I'll go like, what? Come on, you know? So, but my issue with TCN probably has a lot more to do with Lightcast, because Lightcast is kind of his protector, and that just kind of comes at me really weird. I get a weird vibe off of it, to be honest with you. And Matt's going to do what Matt's going to do. And I like Matt. I'm just saying it's not hard to see. It's not hard to see like that there is some kind of symbiotic relationship there. I don't know necessarily what it is. Matt will talk a lot about parasocial relationships, about where YouTubers will just try to build that financial relationship with their audience, and that he doesn't do that, but he still does make money by maybe not through super chats, but he does have ad revenue on, and he's got sponsors when he talks about the stuff with Taylor. So while it may not be a direct parasocial relationship with the audience, looking at his own logic, I can only apply it the reverse, where he's got a parasocial relationship with the cultured nerd, and the cultured nerd doesn't make any money on what they put out there. Again, I'm not harping on the guy. I'm not criticizing him or nothing like that, but this is just the way that I view it. So I have questions, and that's how I see things. And it's it is what it is. I got nothing against Matt. I like him. I'm just saying there's, a person who defends that he defends him quite often, and he acts as his shield quite often. And if somebody criticizes or makes fun of the cultured nerd, there's Matt right there, sword and shield. And you know what? Friends are going to defend friends 100%. I look at the bigger picture and I ask questions, and that's about it. Let's see here. I know someone asked me about the whatever I like to get at theaters. I get popcorn, dude. I get no butter. And if I would love it if theaters would allow me to have air pop popcorn, it'd be great. Let's see here. Whatever happened to the 2016 Ghostbusters cut? It's probably never going to happen. So there's that. All right. TCN and Lightcast have been very instrumental in fanning the Snyderverse revival hub. Yeah, no. I'm not knocking that, man. I just don't know how much of that I believe at this point. I'm just saying there's a lot there that we don't know. There's a lot there that we don't know. And there's a lot there that's been said that hasn't come to fruition or come to fruition yet. And I'm a data logical based individual, there's a reason why I'm not religious, because I'm if you're oh, hey, you should believe in this deity. And I'm well, when's the last time they showed up? 2,000 years, you say, and you're still waiting. You say, ooh, do you have any more data to kind of prove anything? Oh, you don't. Oh, shit. That's kind of where I'm at, and that's where I view, if you want me to have faith in something, I need to see that there's a reason to have faith. That's my problem. What do I think of Den of Nerds? Oh, God. I mean, I got nothing against Josh. He plays his game. He plays his game. That's what he does. He does it. And, that's it. He criticizes the Fandom Menace a year ago, and now he's all buddy with them because they're buddy with Star Wars theory. How much of it's a game, how much of it's a grift, how much of it is a play, can you really, I don't know. And then I check out his content occasionally. Again, speculative videos. I try not to make them. I make them sometimes, I just can't get into, they don't excite me. They just don't really excite me. I don't learn anything from them that's concrete. And like I said, my OCD requires me to be more logically factual based. So there's that. And I think, again, I know people who have about Josh, I know people who are editors who have been approached by him to edit, and he pays terrible. And then he kind of tries to manipulate them into working for him, because he uses this book called The 48 Points of Power. And that's his Bible for getting people to do what he wants, which is why he'll attach himself to somebody or something, provided it can get him attention. And if it can't get him attention, he just quickly moves on to something else and he tries to get in there. And that's what he does. When we were first talking and he mentioned this book, I went and looked it up and I'm oh, this is a manipulation book, right? Now, granted, I've read some books like that, but there's one I recommend. It's called Never Split the Difference. It's from a former FBI hostage negotiator, and he applies his real world negotiation tactics using the stories that, from his actual experience. And it's not let me tell you something in order to kind of get you to just do whatever I say. He's let me build a rapport and let me work with you in order to secure the release of hostages. So he puts it in this way where you get to kind of learn a lot about the negotiation process, about the hostage negotiation process, and tactics and words and phrases and things he uses as a way to kind of do it. And it's like, it's not meant to like hurt anyone. It's actually meant to like help the situation, like help me help you sort of thing. And I love the book. I think it's fantastic. So it's like, there's that. And I think it's all about how you approach things. Like, I love YouTube. It's my business, but I have so much trouble playing the YouTube business game because for me, it doesn't feel like I'm being genuine. And if I don't feel like I'm being genuine, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Like, I physically cannot do it. You know, I cannot bring myself to do it. I have so many reservations about shit. I don't like it. I just ain't going to do it. Anyway. Anyway, are they giving vaccines in my area? Yeah, they're giving vaccines. Apparently, because I do DoorDash or Uber, I qualify for early one. Let's see here. Let's see. We trying to, Robert Storm. I haven't watched her. I watched like one Robert Storm's video. I don't know. That guy, again, that guy plays up a role. He plays up a role. Nothing he says is real. It's all a performance. He'll admit it too. He'll admit it. It's all a performance is all it is. Right. And that's all this stuff is. These people, you know, they don't care. They don't give a shit. Like, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right. Like, I'll show you guys something here. So I came across this a long time ago, and like, again, when you talk about, like, this was from before everything, right? But like, when I talk about the fandom medicine shit and like why I'm not a fan, it's when I see things like this. This is Jessie Milestone. This is her, and I believe World Class Bullshitter. She posted this to Twitter a while back. Her sitting there drinking a coronavirus. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. People are dead. Let's make fun of it with beer. Yeah. Those are the kind of mean-spirited people I'm not a fan of. And they're the ones I have no problem pushing back against. Because fuck it. What are they going to do to me? Nothing. I own my home. I own my business. I do my shit. And I do all that stuff. So that's why I may be an asshole, but I'm an honest asshole. It's the way I view it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I was in a bail like 20 minutes ago. I'm going to fuck off, but I appreciate everyone, hanging out. Thank you very much for the super chats. We got Rel as a new channel member, which is great. So I can add him to this list right here. You can be right underneath my own father, who supports the channel. Appreciate that. And I'll be back on tomorrow night. My car is still in the shop, so I'm still basically unemployed for the moment. And I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again. Follow me on Twitter. Use this hashtag, but follow me on Twitter. All right, guys. Have a good one. And definitely, you know what? Just be good to one another and be honest. And that's really all we can ask for.